Rozier, you are a member of the Miami Heat. Breaking news on a Tuesday morning. Pat Riley finally did it. He made a trade. He woke up. He's not napping this morning. He got a nice little coffee this morning and actually made a deal as the Heat are sending Kyle Lowry and a future first-round pick to the Charlotte Hornets for Terry Rozier. I could not be happier with this deal. I know a lot of us, myself included, really wanted DeJounte Murray, but when you look at the facts and look at opportunity cost and the assets you would have had to give up for DeJounte Murray, plus future salary down the line, I think Terry Rozier is the perfect addition to this Heat roster, and I'll tease this for a little bit in the future as well. I don't think the Miami Heat are done because they've got a couple second-round picks, and they've got some other guys that they can deal off to upgrade this team in minuscule ways, but we're going to focus on Terry Rozier for the most part of today's live stream. Appreciate everyone tuning in. I want everyone to grade the trade as you come in to the live stream today. They sent Kyle Lowry in a 2027 first-round pick that is lottery protected. So it will most likely convey, because as Heat fans, we expect the Miami Heat to not be in the lottery and be in the playoffs in 2027. But just on the case that it does happen, that we stink that year and we're picking in the top 14, well, that will become a 2028 unprotected first-round pick. But it's a one-for-one deal in terms of player as of now, and I think that is absolutely perfect. So continue to grade that trade for me. Let's see what people are saying. Dane's pumped up. Hot Dog, it says Terry Rozier is better than DeJounte Murray. Thousand Eyes says A+. Time Man says A. Chase says A, I think. Dane Haywood says A. Seeing everyone A+ from Chase. We did get a super chat to start off today's stream. Shout out to Money Matt for me down in the comments section. Everyone's fired up, man. I could not be happier. I'm just happy the Heat finally made a move, right? Money Matt coming in with a $5 super says, good morning, everyone. I'm at work. How are you doing today, this trade? I like also, do you think Herro is going to get traded at the deadline or the offseason? It's a great question, Money Matt, thinking long-term rather than the near future, but I don't think Herro gets traded unless it's for a Donovan Mitchell type player, which honestly, I haven't really gave it any thought if this trade potentially would affect that or not in the offseason, because I do still think D-Mitch will get traded. But I'm just more or less focused on Rozier being a member of this Miami. He's a D-Wade disciple. He's one of his favorite players of all time, and I'm pretty sure the reason why he wears number 3, I'll have to double-check that, is the reason, or is Dwayne Wade. So I'm pretty fired up about him coming to Miami. He trains here in the offseason. I'm very pumped up about that. Continue to grade the trade for me down in the comment section. But I'm doing good, Chase, on this nice Tuesday morning. Hopefully you're doing good at work, too. Hopefully you're not slacking off too much. I'm just playing. Fitness saying A. Bryce saying boom. You're a smart ass says A+. I love the trade. Rhyming and Dining says keep Herro. I'm among the keep Herro trade. The only reason why I would ever trade Tyler Herro is if we were to get Donovan Mitchell. But like I said, I don't think D-Mitch and Rozier are interesting fits, and we could talk about that future. We're worrying about the now. We're trying to go win championship number 4 this season, and Terry Rozier certainly helps the Miami Heat do that. What was your one-word reaction, by the way, when you saw that notification, whether it be the YouTube short I put out, the tweet that I put out, or you just saw the Woj and Shams tweet that happened pretty much at the same time? What was your one-word reaction to the Rozier trade? Hot Dog, I had the same one word as you. Finally. And it's just finally that Pat Riley's made a trade. The Heat have been linked. They've to every single player, it feels like, in the past 3 or 4 seasons, and none of them came to Miami. This is the first time that the Heat have made a trade for someone that is not going to be a free agent the following offseason in 3 years. It is about damn time that the Heat made a move to help this team now and could also be a part of this team's future. Rozier's still under contract for the next 3 seasons. This season and 2 more years, I should say, at $24, $25 million. And Rozier's having a career year, so you're banking on him kind of continuing this trajectory for the rest of the season and hopefully continues to play like this in the next future years as well. He's 28, 29 years old, and there are some ramifications to this. There is There's no denying that it will affect the Miami Heat's ability to re-sign Caleb Martin and Haywood Highsmith in the offseason, but that is a different story for a different day. We're not going to talk about that right now. We'll get into Rozier in just a second. But I do want to show some love to our sponsor on today's stream, and it is Factor Meals. Y'all know I have my Factor, and right after this live stream, whenever it ends, I'm here to party with y'all, so keep on getting those super chats in. I could drink, I could answer your questions, but either way, after I'm done hopping off this live, for lunch on deck is Factor Meals because it takes little time and helps me with my stressful day. It's kept my resolutions in check. Get started with your resolutions with Factor so you're ready for 2024. Ready-to-eat meal delivery takes the stress out of meal planning and sets you up for success in the new year. Skip the grocery store's prep work, cooking fatigue. Instead, get chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals delivered right to your door with over 35 meals to choose from on a weekly basis, including keto, calorie smart, vegan and veggie, and more. Plus, over 55 weekly add-ons, you'll have a ton of nutritious and flavorful options to kickstart your resolutions. Like I said, forget frantic lunch preps and rush dinners. I'm not prepping any lunch today, and thank goodness I got Factor, because the 2-minute meals are your secret weapon to fuel up fast and have restaurant-quality meals. And another bonus, they're delivered all to your door. So head to factormeals.com/NBAchat50 and use code NBAchat50 to get 50% off. One more time, factormeals.com/NBAchat50 and use code NBAchat50 to get 50% off. I'm going to get that link and promo code down in the live chat for you in just a bit. But yeah, use that code NBAchat50. Factormeals.com/NBAchat50. Also, this is why you subscribe. If you're one of the people in this chat that haven't subscribed already, what are you waiting for? This is why. We are going to go live for Heat breaking news. So don't you worry. We have you covered with the latest rumors. And I was telling our producer, Smitty, which we'll get him on screen here in just a second, that what was yesterday's video that I put out? Report Kyle Lowry trade is happening soon. 24 hours later, Kyle Lowry is no longer a member of the Miami Heat. That's why you should subscribe to the channel, because we'll have you covered on the latest news and rumors. So hit that sub button. We're also going to be live for most Heat games for the rest of the season. We'll be live tomorrow for the Heat's game against the Grizzlies. Rozier probably won't play. I got my eyes on that Thursday night game against the Boston Celtics. I think that's when Terry Rozier makes his Miami Heat debut. Oh, and we'll be live for that game. So hit that sub button and join the channel. Fitness knows what's good. Rolly's the best. Subscribe. Appreciate you. Thousand Eyes says, yeah, great call. Listen, I just relay the news and rumors that I'm hearing, I see out there, and I make sure you are the most informed Heat fan on the planet. That's all my goal is, and I'm glad that y'all could be informed, and I'm glad I was able to hit this one right. That is for sure. That is for sure. Major saying, so Nick, the reason why they did this, Terry's a great scorer. We give up less than we would have to DeJounte Murray. You're absolutely right. If you traded for DeJounte Murray, you would have had to give up Nikola Jovic alongside Kyle Lowry and probably 1 first-round pick and a pick swap or 2 first-round picks. Instead, you get to keep Jovic. You get to keep Jaquez. You keep those young trade assets that you already have, and all you got to do is send 1 first-round pick. And it still provides flexibility for a potential trade down the line as well. I mentioned Donovan Mitchell. I know a lot of Heat fans want D-Mitch at some point. Well, here's the thing. If he comes available, you're going to have to send a lot of people plus picks. The Heat still would potentially have 3 first-round picks available to trade in the offseason. Those picks, 2029, 2031, which will become available once this season ends, and people will now all have 2031 first-round picks. But you would also be able to trade the 2024 first-round pick, not technically, but you can have a deal potentially in place and draft for someone else, if you know what I mean. So I'm not really concerned about that. But if you are just joining us, this is our trade. That happened. Terry Rozier comes to the 305. Kyle Lowry and a 2027 first-round pick that is lottery protected going to Charlotte. Adrian Wojnarowski had this note as well on that first-round pick. If the 2027 lottery protected first does not convey to Charlotte and the Heat are picking in the lottery, it will be an unprotected first-round pick in 2028. But I'm not too concerned because the Heat should absolutely not be in the lottery in 2027. So you just saw the trade one more time. Grade it for me down in the comments section. A, B, C, D, or F. Let me know. Yeah, I don't think Hot Dog is gonna. I don't think Terry Rozier is gonna be playing in that game. I don't think he'll be playing on Wednesday. That's for sure. I think it will absolutely be a Thursday debut. Williams says, I'm happy that the Heat made a move, but this isn't the move they needed. Hopefully there will be more moves. There is, like I said, I think there's still a possibility they make major upgrades to this roster still. Major might be the wrong word to use. But they could still trade Caleb Martin, who's an expiring deal. And listen, I love Caleb, but I think the Miami Heat should absolutely trade Caleb Martin at the deadline. Why, you ask? Well, he's on an expiring deal. He's got a player option worth $7 million coming up. He is not going to opt into that. He is going to be an unrestricted free agent. The Heat are going to have a tough time re-signing him with their cap issues now because of Rozier. And I'm not going to say I'm not trading for Terry Rozier because of the Miami or because Caleb Martin, right? But what I am saying is that Terry Rozier coming into your cap situation puts you really up against the tax, and it's going to make it very difficult to re-sign Caleb Martin. And listen, that's okay with me. So it might be well served to move off of him and try to get something at the deadline. D Chang says, hey, Rolly, think we should trade Caleb now? Yeah, you have probably asked that question before I just went on my little spiel there. We will not be able to pay Caleb and going in the second half. Yeah, we're going to have to go deep into tax. I don't know if Mickey's going to be willing to do that to keep Caleb Martin. And as much as it sucks, I love Caleb, but I think Caleb Martin should be someone Miami absolutely looks to flip at the deadline. And it could be for another expiring player too, unfortunately. But I think the biggest thing is adding a little bit more front court depth, if you know what I mean. We have the backcourt depth. Now it's all about the front court, in my opinion. We have Herro, we have Rozier, we have J. Rich. Can we get a more conventional backup center? That's the question that I have. Because I think Kevin Love's great, but I'd love to have him as the power forward and run a two-big lineup rather than just have Kevin Love as your backup center alongside Nikola Jovic. I think one more reliable center could really help this team in the playoffs because you're going to have to play Embiid, Porzingis, Al Horford, Brook Lopez, Giannis. You need depth over there. And as good as Kevin Love has been this year, I think the Heat can benefit from one more guy and trade Caleb for potentially someone out there. I'll have to double check and take a look at some potential guys that could be on the market. That might be a video that I do either later today maybe or tomorrow of trade rumors and trade targets after the Terry Rozier trade. So stay tuned for that. That's why you should subscribe. But if you love the trade, like the video, 108 people watch him, only 33 likes. Let's get that up to 60, 70 likes for me. Love this Miami Heat trade for Terry Rozier. Like that video. If I could like my own video, I would because, boy, do I like this trade. It provides financial savings for Mickey Arison in the short term. It saves him about $6 million right now. It also created a $6 million trade exception for Miami, but I don't really know who Miami is going to attach a first-round pick to, or if they would just send a trade exception to a team for a player. I'll have to look more into that off deck, but I just wanted to get live for you guys and hang out. Did I say $6 billion? I meant to say $6 million. But hit that like button if you love the trade and want to welcome Terry Rozier to the Miami Heat. He's probably on YouTube just like y'all looking at what the reaction is to or from Heat fans from him joining the team. And if he stumbles across our live show, I want him to know that Heat fans love Terry Rozier and are welcoming him to the Miami Heat organization. So hit that like button so he knows he's well loved. We did get a $5 super chat from Money Matt, by the way. And I do want to let y'all know I'm ready to party. I got my Happy Dads on deck here. You already know the business. You already know the deal. Lemon lime. I'll take a nice little sip from Money Bat, who came in a little bit earlier. But if anyone wants to have a party here, I know it's Tuesday morning. You could also get your thoughts on screen. We're going to do a mailbag later in the live show. We want to get your thoughts and answer your questions. But we're going to probably get into the cut here in a little bit where I break down the full deal in depth. But I do want to get y'all thoughts on the matter and what is potentially next for the Miami Heat. So if you want to get on the show and get on a video, hashtag Heat or super chat to get on the show. Money Matt will absolutely be on there. But use hashtag Heat. Put that in your comments. Put that in your questions. and our software could pop it up on screen whenever we get to that portion of it. But Rozier, man, glad he can be added to this Heat team. He is going to come into this team and be the leading scorer and leading assist man, if you could believe that. Not kidding. Nobody over in Miami averages more than 23 points. Terry Rozier averages 23.2. No one averages over 5 assists a game for the Miami Heat. Terry Rozier averages 6.6. So you're getting your leader in now assists and scoring. What do you mean? Oh, just go flow. You trust the flow. Don't need to follow that specifically. Major says, thanks for going live. Yeah, of course. I talk to you guys throughout videos all the time about how we're going to go live if the Miami Heat make a trade. Here we are. We're live. We've also talked about Terry Rozier a lot in the past and gone in depth on Rozier. We've also talked about DeJounte Murray. We've talked about everyone. That's why you subscribe if you haven't already. That's why you subscribe if you haven't already. Brian's saying still trading. Jaleel says thank you. Of course. That's why I'm here. I want to hang out with the Heat fans. Razor says Rolly. Also, I got the Heat Hall of Fame board here just in case anyone wanted to get crazy. This is a celebration. We'll break down the news more in depth in just a bit here. $20 super chat gets you on the Miami Heat Hall of Fame. The last edition was Major Anthony Nelson, by the way. Shout out to him. He's an absolute legend. He might have jinxed us on Friday, but he was a legend for getting in. I kind of forgot where I'm at. Major, were you 21? I think 22 is next. So whoever gets into the Miami Hall of Fame next is the 22nd member. You know who is number 22? That'd be Mr. Jimmy Butler. You can be the Jimmy Butler of the Heat Report Hall of Fame by getting in. $20 super chat. I'll also take a shot as well. Got my Patron. I know it's early. It's 11:19 on the East Coast. It's 10:19 where I'm at in Dallas, Texas. But it does not matter. It does not matter. Gene says W for the Heat. Hell yeah. I'm fired up about this trade, man. Hot Dog says, how do we get in? Yeah, $20 super chat gets in you the Heat Hall of Fame. We write your name on the board, which will, once we fill this bad boy up, by the way, we're going to auction it off and have a giveaway for it as well. So make sure you stay around for that. You can get your name on here multiple times. This is our super chat menu. $5 the beers cheers like I did for Money Matt. $50, I'll shotgun a beer. I'll straight up do a shotgun. You know what? How about this? Smitty, are you ready to get crazy tonight? You know what? First of all, let's welcome on producer Smitty. I think this is the second time in Heat Report history we have gone live and had a producer on hand with me, and it's not just a one-man band like it is usually for watch parties. Welcome in Tyler Smith, who unfortunately is a Boston Celtics fan.
That's right.
Who knows Terry Rozier quite well.
I do know Terry. Terry Rozier actually has one of my worst memories ever in basketball history. Going 0 for 10 in a Game 7 against LeBron from 3. I couldn't believe it. But hey, he's come a long way as a polished scorer.
I'll tell you this. It's going to be absolute chills when it's Eastern Conference Finals, Heat, Celtics again. Game 7 in Boston again, and instead of Caleb Martin being the one that goes nuclear in that game, it'll be their good old pal Terry Rozier dropping a 30-piece tender with a side of barbecue sauce in Boston to send those guys home. I can't wait for the Rozier playoff moments, man.
I don't know what I would do in that scenario. Rozier, for that entire playoff run in 2017, 2018, was an absolute demon. He was a big game player, rising to the occasion, just kind of ran out of gas there toward the end. But he's come a long way over the past couple of seasons.
There was the nickname of Scary Terry for a reason, right? That's another reason why I love this deal for Miami. I've always said, when you're looking at trade targets for the Miami Heat, I've talked about you need to be a guy that is not afraid of the moment, can rise to the occasion. Terry Rozier, I know it's been a rough couple years in Charlotte, and it hasn't gone well. But he always rises to the occasion, at least when he's been in the playoffs. I'm excited for Terry to join the Heat, man. I can't wait to watch his debut. And I'll say this right now, by the way. I think the biggest benefactor of this Terry Rozier trade, it might shock you. I think it's Tyler Herro. And the reason why I think that Tyler Herro is going to benefit the most from this Rozier trade, and it might shock you. But think about this. Terry is your best scorer from the perimeter now. He's a better scorer than Tyler Herro. That's just a fact. Let's be unbiased here for a second.
3 levels.
It's
As far as 3 levels, absolutely.
He's a better three-point shooter. No, he's not. Tyler Herro's
I was
better
going to say, I don't think he's a better three-point shooter,
Rozier's
but definitely better getting to the rack.
He's a better isolation scorer.
Yes.
And he can break down his defender better. He is the best isolation scorer on the team now, I think.
100%.
But the reason why that benefits Tyler is that Rozier is going to force the opposing team's best perimeter defender to guard Terry, which means Tyler is now getting potentially the third best defender on the opposing team. Because when you look at the Heat's starting lineup, you assume it's going to be Rozier, Herro, Jimmy, Bam, and slot in power forward. I got to be honest, I think Nikola Jovic goes to the bench because I don't think Jovic fits the starting lineup.
Is it a start Love and sit him quick?
No, I actually think they'll go back to Haywood Highsmith.
Okay.
And the reason why I think they go back to Highsmith is because this team, alongside that 4 guys I just mentioned, they need a more traditional 3-and-D guy. They don't need a playmaking stretch 4. They need a 3-and-D guy. That's Haywood Highsmith.
Yep.
So I expect Highsmith to become that starting power forward once again, move Jovic to the bench. And unfortunately, I know we traded for a guard that doesn't really affect Jovic's position. I do think this trade, though, will take away from Jovic minutes because I don't know if he fits that starting lineup as much as he did just before.
I don't know if he necessarily fits the starting lineup, but I do absolutely think you can run lineups with Rozier and Jovic on the floor.
No,
Rozier isn't a bad off-the-ball player.
No, and that's another thing. I think it's going to take some time for these guys to get acclimated together, but I do think they fit well because they can all play off ball. Jimmy likes playing off ball.
Yep.
Tyler can play off ball. And I think he will, like I mentioned, be a big-time benefactor from this because you put your best defender on Jimmy Butler, you put your second-best defender on Rozier, you put your best front-court defender on Adebayo, and that leaves your third guy on Tyler Herro. And if Tyler is taking that next step like we want him to, and I know it's been rough over the last couple weeks and 3 weeks really, but Herro going against the team's third-best defender, I'm going to like my odds with Tyler Herro being able to break him down and get to the rim and hit his jumpers. So I think this deal just really is going to have a snowball effect on the Miami Heat and really, really help them go into the future. And if you could just make a front court addition with Caleb Martin potentially, and now you're cooking with gas. Because you still have Duncan, you still have Jay Rich, you still have Jaime Jaquez Jr. coming back, who should come back on Wednesday as well. So now we're looking here. And honestly, I don't hate if the Heat hold out Jaime on Wednesday against the Grizzlies. And guess what? On Thursday, Boston coming into Miami. You have Jaime coming back from a 5-game absence. You have Terry Rozier's first game on the Miami Heat. Oh, that building is going to be juiced up.
You do catch
Thursday.
the Celtics on 2 days of rest.
We're on a second night of a back-to-back, though, which just stinks.
Yeah. Now, if you were like the Celtics, you would just naturally win the 2 back-to-back games like we just did in Texas. I was at the game last night, and they looked pretty good.
Yeah.
I know you said
that crossover was crazy.
That crossover, it was crazy.
Jaylen Brown dropped Luka Doncic.
You know, I'm notorious for missing big plays and stuff like that, but I saw that just clear as day, and it was the coolest thing ever. Yeah, and then he came back down the next trip down and one jumpered him. It was cool. But you said that teams are going to have to focus maybe their third, fourth defender on Tyler Herro now, right?
Yeah.
Boston's got 3 or 4 elite perimeter defenders. It's going to be like you're getting Jaylen Brown instead of Drew Holiday now on Tyler Herro.
No, I get that, but before the trade, it would have been Derek White or Drew Holiday.
Probably would have been Derek White.
They would have put Drew Holiday on Butler again.
Yeah, they're going to put JB on Butler now. JB is clamping everybody. It's over. He's becoming one of the NBA's elite wing defenders.
I ain't worried about no Celtics. Eric Spoelstra's going to run circles around Joe Mazzulla.
That part is true.
There's no doubt
until
about
I see anything different, that part I cannot.
I'm not afraid of Boston. I'm not afraid of Milwaukee.
No, you shouldn't be.
We just got to. I'm telling you, we just got to add one more piece of the front court.
You guys don't win the championships, but you're like the Kansas City Chiefs of the NBA.
We're always there.
You just coast through the regular season, don't win it much, you scare everyone, and then you beat the juggernauts.
We're always there, and you don't want to face us.
It's ridiculous.
That's what it is. That's what it is. And by the way, I do want to add this note, which I'll get to, and we'll talk more about when we get into this cut, which we should probably do in a couple minutes here. Terry Rozier ranks second in the entire NBA in pick-and-roll scoring efficiency. I can't believe my life. We have a good scorer. We have a good scorer in the pick and roll. I can't believe my life. And think about this too. He's not the best playmaker, but he's averaging 6.5 assists this year. You talk about someone who is second in the NBA in pick and roll scoring efficiency. You run a pick and roll with him and Adebayo. Well, now you have a real offensive play that when the shot clock gets down to 8-10 and the off-ball movement and the cutting hasn't worked. All right, well, let's get it to Terry and Bam, and let's have them run a pick and roll.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, come on now. Now, because you could hit the roller at Abaya, who then if he gets doubled, can kick it out to a shooter. Or you get Terry to the rim. Or Terry lob past the Bam, which the Heat have been very bad about getting Adebayo active in the pick and roll lob game. But hopefully Rozier will be able to unlock that portion of them.
This is nice now for the Heat to just be able to default to go to a pick and roll when things aren't working.
I mean,
it's nice.
It's just the difference between Kyle Lowry and Terry Rozier is going to be night and day. And you're going to see it from day one. Yeah. The activity, the athleticism, the ability to break down. Because when you're Kyle Lowry's out there, you're playing 4-on-5 on offense.
He's not a threat to score.
Well, the only thing Kyle Lowry does is if he gets caught in a catch-and-shoot 3 situation with 5 on the shot clock. Terry Rozier, I promise you this, will not be afraid to shoot the basketball, and that's what I love about him.
Terry Rozier will shoot the ball with 5 seconds past in the shot clock more times than he will with 5 seconds left in the shot clock. He's a running gun player.
Yeah, I see some of your questions about like Jay Kelly. Good question. We've talked about this. I want to get your questions on the show, and I want to answer them and get them on screen so everyone could see them and we could have a discussion about it. If you want to get on the show, #Heat. So like Jay Kelly, if you ask that question and then just put #Heat at the end of it, we could pull it and get it on the screen. And if you super chat, though, you will 100% get on the show. And if you do super chat, we're going to have a party today. $20 gets you into the Heat Report Hall of Fame. You get your Vice jacket. A $5 super chat, I'll do a nice little beers cheers for you. You know what? Screw it. $20, you'll get on the Heat Report Hall of Fame, and I'll shotgun a beer. I'll pour my entire Happy Dad into the Merbanga and chug it. $20. Want to have a party. I wanted to break down. Saw this live, and I saw that Nodi. I hit up our boss. I was like, can we go live? I want to go live. I want to party with the Heat fans. So if you guys want to turn up on a Tuesday morning, Tuesday almost afternoon, that's how you do so. And like I said, I do want to get y'all on screen. So use #Heat when you're asking a question or if you have a comment that wants to get on screen. #Heat. Because Razor, that's a good comment on Terry Rozier. But use #Heat. There's Ron Baker. Like that. There's Ron Baker getting one in. Follow Ron Baker's lead. How tall was Ron Baker? 6'5", 6'6", 6'4"? The 6'2", 6'3" guard out of Wichita State, Ron Baker. GS Everything says, let's go Heat Nation. Let's go. I thought Ron Baker was a forward. Okay, I was in there. He's a tweener. Here's a tweener, man. He was a tweener. I actually do wonder how many turnovers. I saw someone talk about Terry Rozier's turnovers. I want to check this out. Valentina, when I got the notification this morning about the trade, it was me hopping out of the shower. So I came in nice and clean. He averages 2 turnovers a game. Not the worst, not the best.
It's something interesting to note, though, because will his usage rate go up with this Miami Heat team? Absolutely. I mean, just by virtue of not having LaMelo Ball next to him.
I'll be curious about that.
This is arguably the biggest role Terry Rozier's ever had in his career.
Yeah, because he was a 6-man coming off the bench for that Celtics team.
Yeah. I mean, he ended up starting in the playoffs, but this is a full half season and postseason, hopefully, of him being the man on a contending team.
All right, let's get into this cut here. We're going to talk more in depth about the Rozier trade. While we are doing this, like I said, #Heat or Super Chat to get on the show because I want to answer y'all questions and talk with y'all and what you guys have to say. I don't know what happened here. I don't know what this could possibly be. This is devastating. Little smudge. Good question. Let me ask Colin here. Colin's my helper. Give me 1 second, folks.
Keep using hashtag Heat to get your questions on the show, or send in a super chat to skip to the front of the line. I don't know if you guys know about touch tunes, but you pay that little extra fee to skip priority player's song. That's how you get into the mailbag video. Send in a super chat, $ next to the chat box. It could be $2, it could be $1, it could be $5, it could be $10, it could be $20, and then you get yourself on the Heat Hall of Fame board. The Miami Vice Shotsky.
Pretty sweet, man. Like I said, next person to get inducted, $22 or $20 is the 22nd member of the Hall of Fame, which is the Jimmy Butler of the Miami Heat Hall of Fame. 22nd member gets you in. Jimmy, you could be the Jimmy Butler. Diego with a question. There we go. Diego, I'll give you a sneak peek. Yes, but follow Diego and Ron Baker's lead. Hashtag Heat, ask a question, and you guys can get on this video.
Let's go. Let's see how many questions we have right now. We're going to get to that a couple minutes after we do the initial in-depth breakdown of this trade. So stick around, guys. Got 120 people watching right now, 65 likes. Hit that like button so more Heat fans will be shown this live stream and come in and talk about the trade. It's a big day in Miami Heat 2023 season, or 2023-24 season, excuse me. All right, so we got Diego says... Okay, cool. That's a good question. And it's just Diego and Ron Baker right now, so we need more. And obviously, Money Matt, who sent in the super chat earlier. Keep using hashtag Heat to send in your questions. Follow Diego and Ron Baker's lead. So MC, that's a good take. Like, you need to add another big man to play defense and give Bam some rest. That's a good take. Use hashtag Heat in that. We can get it on the show.
There's Jay Kelly. There's Jay Kelly.
Yeah, Jay Kelly.
All right, there. All right, now follow Jay Kelly's lead, baby.
Actually, Jay Kelly, if you could just copy paste that and just take out the space in between hashtag and Heat, that'd be beautiful for me. It won't. Our software won't pick it up with that little glitch.
All right.
There you go, Valentina. Appreciate you.
There you go, Valentina. Just make sure you message in the production. That
it's starting?
Yeah, because Coop's got it.
Okay.
Or if you just want to message Coop, that works.
Okay.
So there we go. Continue to keep on firing those questions. Devontae Adams burner with one as well. That's right. That's right. All right. Good question, Fitness. That's fine. Yeah. MC with a good question. Let's go. All right. Good job, guys. Way to come through. Way to come through. If you want to ensure yourself getting on screen, Super Chat's the best way to do so. If not, we'll rotate through all those hashtag questions. So appreciate y'all for getting those in. We're going to get into the breakdown of the trade in my full opinion, and then we'll talk, hang out for a second, and then we'll answer some of your questions and get your thoughts on screen. So that's the rundown of today's show. But, man, it's good to have Terry Rozier, a member of the Miami Heat. Ready to roll. Terry Rozier, you are a member of the Miami Heat. Pat Riley finally woke up from his slumber and made a trade for someone that is not a free agent to be for the first time in 3 years. The Heat are sending Kyle Lowry and a 2027 first-round pick. We'll talk more in depth about that in a second. To the Charlotte Hornets for Scary Terry, but the Heat finally move off Kyle Lowry, use his expiring contract to upgrade that guard spot, which we know is desperately needed in this 4-game stretch where Miami have lost 3 of 4 and struggled offensively. Hopefully those offensive struggles are no more with Scary Terry. Shams Charania had the breaking news. He had Miami's nearing a trade to acquire Charlotte's Terry Rozier for a package sending Lowry and draft comp, including a first-round pick. That draft compensation is a 2027 lottery-protected first-round pick. We expect, or at least hope, that Miami will not be picking in the lottery in 2027. So that should be conveyed, but on the off chance Miami is picking inside the top 14 in 2027, that pick will become unprotected first-round pick in 2028. But this is why you subscribe to the channel. We cover breaking Miami Heat news, and we will go live. We are doing this segment live right now on the Heat Report. If you couldn't join us, it's a shame. But if you're a new viewer, hit that sub button so you can stay up to date when we go live again. We'll be live for the next 2 days, by the way. Wednesday against the Grizzlies for a watch party. Thursday against the Celtics, which, by the way, I think Thursday is going to be the day Terry Rozier makes his Heat debut. So hit that sub button. We also called this. Called it. Yes, we did call this. We said yesterday the video that Kyle Lowry trade happening soon, and look, he's off the team. I did want to just show you this full trade in full here. This is Kyle Lowry. I wanted to get your full graphic so you guys could see instead of me just talking to you. But listen, I like the deal. You're upgrading at point guard. Your backcourt is now Kyle Lowry and Terry Rozier, or excuse me, Tyler Herro and Terry Rozier. And I know people are going to have concerns about the defense, which we'll get to in just a bit. But I do like the upgrade. Rozier is averaging 23 a night this year. He can break down opponents. He has been fantastic this year for Charlotte, career year. He also has playoff experience with Boston, and I really think he's going to benefit from being a member of the Miami Heat. He's a D-Wade disciple. He loved Dwayne Wade, one of his favorite players of all time, if not his favorite. I think that might be the reason why he wears number 3, by the way. So a little fun tidbit right there. But I mentioned the first-round pick conveying in 2028. Adrian Wojnarowski had that news, and the reason why I do want to have this little thought quickly here. The trade deadline is February 8th. I don't think the Miami Heat are done, by the way. I think the Heat could make another trade for a piece of a member of the front court. But I like that the Heat didn't wait till the deadline. They struck. They knew they needed to move off Kyle Lowry. They knew they needed to help this Heat team on the offense side of the ball. They did not hesitate, and they got a deal done now rather than waiting for February 8th. I did want to add this, too, because there is some tidbits and some financial pieces of this that I think we needed to make note. Yassi says, significant upgrade at point guard in Terry Rozier while reducing the luxury tax payment by $15.2 million. They save a total of $21.7 million between their payroll and tax penalty. They have also generated a $6.5 million trade exception. Now, those numbers are for this year. The money aspect of things become a little interesting in the offseason and next year. But at least for this season, they saved Mickey Harrison money. We know he likes that. He also said that the Heat opened up a $6.3 million trade exception, and they're $6.3 million below the second apron, opening up the $5 million taxpayer mid-level. It could be used to pursue a buyout player, but they still can't sign players making $12.5 million or more. They need to get below the first apron to do that, which they're $4.2 million above. So you mentioned that. I think there's a trade that could possibly happen to shed salary to help them in the buyout market. I really do think that. Like, if they traded Thomas Bryant right now and lost his salary, and then potentially Gordon Hayward became available on the buyout market, that's something that is very interesting as well. Bobby Mark coming in with some more financial help as well. He said they talked about the Heat Rozier on NBA Today on Monday. Helps the Heat roster now, but Miami now has to dance around the second apron next year. $184 million in projected salaries, which kind of limits the ability to re-sign Caleb Martin in the offseason, which we'll talk about in just a bit. But I do want to get your one-word reaction to the Terry Rozier trade. When that notification hit, when you finally saw the news, what was your one-word reaction for me down in the comment section? Mine was finally. Reason why it was finally is because the Heat needed someone like Rozier as bad as humanly possible. He was averaging 23 a night for Charlotte in 30 games played. Hopefully he could bring that over to the 305. 46% from the field, 35.8% from three. That number dipped a little bit, if we're going to be honest. Rozier was shooting closer to 37, 38% just a couple weeks ago, but he's had a little of a cold stretch as well. But what Rozier will bring to the table is the ability to break down opponents on the perimeter, right? He'll be able to get by his man one-on-one using his athleticism. He also can collapse defenses when he gets into the paint and kick it out to open three-point shooters. Another reason why I love Terry Rozier, It's because, well, he's able to get to the rim and finish, which will Miami Heat, one of the worst teams in the NBA at finishing around the rim. As bad as that is with Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo, yes, it's true. Tyler Herro's also struggled with his finishing. I think it's a near perfect move, though. Why is it not perfect? Well, because I think that DeJounte Murray is still a better fit for the Miami Heat. But I'll say it's near perfect because you had to give up way less assets, and it provides you more financial flexibility because DeJounte Murray is getting paid more than Terry Rozier over the next 3 seasons when that extension kicks in. Rozier provides almost the same amount of offensive potential and spacing for Miami. It's just a little bit on the defensive end that it limits him, which we'll talk more about the defensive side in a bit. But I do want to get to Kyle Lowry being no longer a member of the Miami Heat. I'd like to say thank you to Kyle because, well, over the 2.5 seasons he was with the Miami Heat, in 2 full seasons, they made the conference finals in a Game 7 and made the NBA Finals. So although Kyle Lowry's 3-year, $30 million deal didn't really go that well for the Heat in terms of winning a title and his personal stats, the Heat's team did just have a lot of success. And these numbers are unacceptable from your point guard, right? He's 37. He's old. He can't defend at the point of attack anymore. He can't break down defenders. And the only time he was shooting the ball is when he was catching it in 5 on the shot clock and had to put up a 3. So you're getting a very much more dynamic scorer in Terry Rozier. And I'm just happy I don't have to watch Kyle Lowry anymore, man. I could not take it. Those weak-ass takes to the rim, those lob passes from half court that were just thrown as a hospital ball. They were so frustrating. It's good to have Terry Rozier in the 305. And make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. Want to give a second little update to that. Make sure you hit that sub button. We're live for Rozier's debut, likely occurring on Thursday, so against the Boston Celtics. So make sure you join us there for that watch party. I'll be very excited for that. We're also going to be live tomorrow against the Grizzlies, so hit that sub button. But I do want to talk about the defensive addition to Terry Rozier, because I know a lot of people are going to say, well, Rozier is a pretty undersized guard as well, undersized like Kyle Lowry. So is the defense going to struggle? Here's the thing, though. It can't be worse. It literally cannot be worse than the Lowry-Herro backcourt defensively. Herro's been an improved defender, but he's still not good. What Kyle Lowry was unable to do for the Miami Heat was defend anything unless it was a rotation over to draw a charge. Rozier averages 1.1 steals a game. He's athletic. He reads defenses. He can jump in the passing lane and get out in transition and score. Kyle Lowry wasn't giving you that. And another reason why, and I know this is not really defense that I wanted to talk about, but Rozier is athletic. Like, he will put pressure onto the rim. He'll put the Heat out in transition after a miss, after a make. He'll get the ball up the court quickly. Rozier is a great addition to this Heat team, and I am just happy that the Heat finally made addition to the front or the backcourt because, boy, oh boy, was it absolutely necessary. And like I mentioned, I know people are going to say that the Heat's defense is not going to be good with Rozier and Herro in the backcourt. But I want to double down with the take that it cannot be worse than Kyle Lowry and Tyler Herro. It cannot be worse. Whatever that was, that's as bad as it's going to get. Rozier is not going to be worse than Kyle Lowry. I'm also not going to defer away and be naive here and say that the Heat have no backcourt issues defensively, because they do still have issues on that defensive side of the basketball. But the offense is going to at least be able to score 100 points again, which they have been unable to do so over the last 4 games. That is for sure. That is for sure. And when you look at the now top 4 guys on the Miami Heat, they all average over 20 points a game. How about that, right? Rozier, Tyler Herro, Jimmy Butler, and Bam, they all average over 20. Rozier becomes your leading assist man, which is kind of crazy to think about. But you're getting 4 dynamic scorers of the basketball. Your top 4 guys all average over 20 points a game. Jimmy obviously doesn't take things too seriously in the regular season, averaging 21 a night. But Bam, 21.5. Herro's been averaging 22.4. Rozier is now your leading scorer technically at 23.2 and leading assist man. I just think these 4 guys fit so well offensively because you have Rozier's ability to hit the catch and shoot 3. You have Rozier's ability to break down the opponents and isolation defenses and get to the rim. And Rozier is also the number 2 player in terms of efficiency in the pick and roll offensively. So that Bam Adebayo, Terry Rozier pick and roll will be very, very good for Miami when it gets down to 5, 6, 7 seconds on the shot clock. You throw it to Terry. You bring Bam over for a screen. And you can generate offense late in the shot clock in terms of something you haven't been able to do. Because lately, when it comes late to the shot clock, you relied on one of those 3 guys on the right side of your screen to just throw up a shot and bail you out. Now you have a legit play and offense you can run to generate open looks for your team at the end of the shot clock, which will only help you offensively. We asked you for your one-word reaction to the trade a little bit earlier. Now I want you to grade the trade. Remember, it was Terry Rozier coming to Miami for Kyle Lowry and a 2027 first-round pick. Grade the trade for me, A, B, C, D, and or F, which I don't think anybody should be typing F. One last time, make sure you hit that sub button because we're still going to have you covered to up to date that Miami Heat trade deadline on February 8th. I also don't think that the Heat are done making a deal, which we'll talk more in depth over the channel the last couple days, but I think Caleb Martin could be traded for a person in the front court. They also have trade exceptions. They also have second-round picks. They also have more picks to trade if they elected to, and they didn't want to hoard them for the future. So hit that sub button because I don't think the rumors are going to slow down for your Miami Heat. Also join us live for a couple watch parties coming up over the next couple days. Good. Whew. Brandon saying Lowry to the Raptors makes a lot of sense. Trade Schroeder and a contender. Is that a Raptors fan wanting Kyle Lowry to return? Oh, McKenna saying A. Thousand Eyes says A+. Fitness says A. Razor says A+, A+, A+. Valentina Official says A. If you want to get on the show, hashtag Heat or Super Chat, as we do have 160 people watching. We did get a Super Chat from Fitness during that cut that I wanted to get on screen. It's not so a question, but I did want to pop that on screen and appreciate Big Bro Fitness. Thanks for jumping on early. Let's go Heat. Appreciate you, Fitness. Hopefully everything is well. Hoping everything is well. I'll take a sip of my Happy Dad for you. Oh. Brandon, of course, that's what we do here on the Heat Report. I don't know if you're a Heat fan. It seems like you might be a Raptors or Hornets guy, which is totally fine. But that's why we're, I think, the #1 Heat YouTube channel there is. And at least I like to think so because we interact with all of you. We want to get your thoughts on screen and talk about them, interact. We also go live and make a video every single day. So, yeah. Axie with a super chat, $5. Let's ride Axie, my guy. Shout out to you, $5 super chat. Just got, I said I'm going to say word of the trade now. Who else was in the deal? Was Jovic and or Herro also dealt? No. Axie, not. The deal was Kyle Lowry and a 2027 first-round pick in exchange for Terry Rozier. So you keep Jovic, keep Jaquez, keep Herro. So you have all of those 3 assets for the future, which is big, which is big. Brandon says, thanks for interacting that subscriber. Yes, sir. So you are a Heat fan then. All right, we'll take that. Oh, brother, they're getting Kava today? That's crazy. That's crazy. It's a good spin. You know, Petey, I don't know if you can hear me, but that's a good spin zone. Said I'm not heating until the Heat win again. This trade was a win. It is a win. It is a win. I am still in the middle of my hunger strike, by the way. I have not consumed a piece of food since the Sunday night loss to the Orlando Magic. That is a fact. I have witnesses.
So it's a hunger strike, not a fast?
Let's both. No, well, I can't really do fast because I'm drinking on Happy Dads.
That's true.
I'm on a hunger strike. I haven't consumed food.
That's fair.
Until they win a game, which guys, I got to be honest. I was really banking on a win against the Grizzlies on Wednesday, so they better win. Because if they lose that game and then lose to Boston, I could be in trouble.
You could be in trouble.
I could be in trouble.
The Heat would be in trouble in that scenario.
I could be in trouble. I could certainly be in trouble. My goodness. DJ is in the building. Mr. DJ is here. Oh, boy. Who knows what's going to happen next? Shout out to Mr. DJ. Hi, Mr. DJ, are you fired up? Terry Rozier, that guy right there is a member of the Miami Heat now. Let's go. Let's go. Wow, Kyle Lowry is expected to end up on the buyout market, according to this guy named Rod Boone. I don't know how serious that is.
Adrian Wojnarowski reported earlier that the Hornets would look to explore a deal. Looks like they called everybody already and nobody picked up.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who wants Kyle Lowry, man. I don't know who wants Kyle Lowry. I don't know. Kyle Lowry's salary is $29.7 million.
There is no right man in the NBA who would trade for a $27.9 million Kyle Lowry right now and expect that to be like him to be the rotational piece. Like, why would you do that? Just wait.
Yeah.
Hornets aren't going to keep him.
I think he gets bought out. I really do think Lowry gets bought out. Unless the Hornets just want to have $30 million come off their books in the offseason. That's possible. Tom Sipes here, a member of the Heat Report Hall of Fame.
Let's go.
Rolly's better than Smitty. That is a fact.
Yeah. So he's going to have to go to somebody
Hypothetically, now this will not happen, but if he gets bought out, couldn't he technically re-sign with Miami? Are we sure?
Are you over the first apron?
I thought if you get bought out, you're free game. Because there was an issue with Victor Oladipo. Oh, you're right. He would have to be traded again and then bought out.
Yes.
If Lowry was traded to another team and then that team bought him out, then Miami could re-sign him.
Yes.
That's not going to happen, though. It's not going to happen.
Yep.
Axie says Rolly's better than Allie. Facts. Loctara's in the building.
Oh!
Hashtag Team Rolly. What's up, Loctara? Good to see you.
Seems like we got a lot of love in the chat right now. Use hashtag Heat. Ask some questions about the trade. Get on the show. Let's do it.
MC says, best Miami Heat YouTube. Hashtag Miami. Appreciate you, MC. Loctara says, everybody knows it's hashtag Team Rolly. Yes, sir, Loctara. Tuesday morning, I know, Lockdy, but if we want to get crazy, I got my happy dads on deck, man. I'm ready to go. Axie, you right. Oh, man. What a time to be alive.
Crazy.
MC says, how many more games are we winning now? 10 plus? It's going to be more than 10. I think the Heat, we're sitting at, 24 and 19 right now. I expect our record to be, I'm going to say 48 win team. We're going to be a 48 and 24 win. 48 and 34, excuse me.
48 and 34?
Yeah, I think that'll be good for
5 seed?
4 or 5 in the East.
Okay.
48 and 34.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That puts you in a matchup potentially with Cleveland, New York, Indiana.
We're packing them up in 5 or 6, all of them.
I think New York would be a really interesting matchup this year.
Now that we have Rozier, though, that's such a different story, man.
I mean, he doesn't really have, like, there's not really many defenders.
Who are they putting? Here's the thing. I think we are so perfectly matched up with the Knicks now. I'm being that serious.
Like, well, Jimmy's a non-threat in that series.
I mean, OG is going to guard Jimmy, and that's going to be an issue for Butler.
Definitely.
There's no doubt about that. They have no one that could guard Adebayo. Bam, and I don't give a shit if you say Mitchell Robinson if he comes back. Bam was the best player on the Miami Heat when they beat them last season in the postseason. Jimmy was all right. I mean, Jalen Brunson was the best player in that series, but they couldn't stop Bam. They're still not going to do it now. And then you look at the backcourt. They were going to put DiVincenzo, who's their best perimeter defender, they're going to, outside of OG, put on Herro. But now, guess what? One of Tyler Herro or Terry Rozier is going to be matched up on Jalen Brunson. Brunson is like Kyle Lowry, good team defender. You get Jalen Brunson in isolation situations, that's cooked chicken.
Yeah.
He's cooked.
Yeah, I agree.
Rozier would cook the shit out of Jalen Brunson, and honestly, so would Tyler Herro. But Mr. DJ, my guy, coming in with a $5 super sticker, pair character, blowing up a party horn. That is exactly how I feel right now.
Yeah, that's why I was so eager to put it up, because like that's the vibes right now.
A pair character, we're blowing up a party horn. Let's go. Oh.
Keep using hashtag Heat or Super Chat to get on the show. We need a couple more questions from you guys.
That's a great question from Cool Winners. That is a great
question from Cool Winners. And we need more like that.
Great question. You're smartless, Carl. That's a good question, but put hashtag Heat on that, smart ass, Carl. Count up. Yeah, I don't know if I answered this. I do like the Happy Dads. They're very easy. Count also says we're finally on ESPN. Yeah, we know the media does not like to talk about the Miami Heat.
Yeah.
There's Jay Kelly putting hashtag Heat. There we go. Ooh, I like that. Jay Kelly, that's a good question. That is a good question. but to quickly answer smart ass Carl's question, I want you to use it #Heat. The reported asking price is 2 second-round picks. Don't really see that being something the Miami Heat eye. I also think that would put the Heat in a really, really bad spot financially because you'd be paying Jimmy 40 plus. Bam is up for that Supermax extension soon, assuming he makes All NBA this year, which I do think is going to happen because I don't know if Embiid qualifies. He can't miss more than 7 or 8 games the rest of the year. So if he doesn't qualify, Bam will absolutely be on the second or third team All NBA this year. And then you have to pay him. Tyler's getting 25 plus. You get Terry getting 24. And then if you could bring in Kuzma, he's getting 25, 30 million. That is just a train wreck. I don't think that would happen. I will say this. That is a really good starting 5, potentially, of Rozier, Herro, Jimmy, Kuzma, and Bam. That would be unbelievable, but I don't know if they're able to do that. Oh, Sam Laxara with a $20 super chat. Boom, let's go, Lochte. It doesn't matter which team or sport it is. The people want the Rolly report. #Team Rolly. Yes, sir. Sam Laxara. Let's get it, baby. Okay, I love that. Laxara gets on to the Heat Report Hall of Fame again. Sam Laxara, you're the Jimmy Butler of the Heat Report Hall of Fame. You're number 22. This is the 22nd name. Laxara, what a legend.
Spam Sam in the chat. Let's go.
Want to make sure the name is spelled correctly, but shout out to you, Sam Laxara. Spam those Sams down in the comment section. There you are, Laxara again. And I also said, Lochte, that every $20, just because it's usually $50 for a beer bong, a.k.a. me chugging a beer, but with the party, Terry Rozier is a member of the Miami Heat. I'm doing it for 20. So let's get pouring up here. Get pouring up. Shout out to you, Laxara. You're an absolute legend. You're an absolute legend.
Get some Sams in the chat. Rolly's going chug, 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 chug. Yeah.
Well, like a little beer bong before noon, right? I mean, it is noon for some of you guys on the East Coast, but we're Central Time. We're Central Time over here. Laxara, baby, gets on the board. Pump, fired up. Jump Ball says, Scary Terry and South Beach fire emoji. Yeah, I could not be happier. He's always wanted to be in Miami, by the way. He's a big fan of the Miami. Ready? Watch this. Ready? This is a quote from Terry Rozier after he swapped jerseys with Dwayne Wade when he at his retirement tour. I just never thought I'd see the day, witness his one last dance, actually playing against him. It was mandatory I get his jersey. I wouldn't let nobody else get it. I mean, Terry Rozier loves Dwayne Wade. He loves the Miami Heat. I'm telling you, he loved the Miami Heat, even though he was on the Celtics and the Hornets. I'm telling you, Terry wanted to be in Miami. Pat Riley brings in a guy that wanted to play in the Heat culture, played with Spo, and he's a perfect fit. This is unbelievably awesome time, man. Hot Dog says, now time to acquire Lowry Marketing. I don't see that being a possibility, but it would be fun. It would be fun. It would be fun, I'll tell you that. Rozier, Marketing, Jimmy, Bam, Herro. Woo! Do they do pressers for trades like this? Thousand Ice says, can't wait for Scary Terry presser. I don't really think that's going to happen.
I'm not sure they're going to do one for this, especially in the middle of the season. They got games. I don't think so.
No, I don't. Well, if you're talking about his first time speaking in the media, that's a different story.
Yeah, he'll be in the practice facility.
Yeah, he'll be. I'm sure they'll be able to interview him on Wednesday. He probably fly into Miami today. He'll join the team tomorrow. I'll bet he's on the bench for that game again tomorrow.
Which is something I want to bring up, by the way. This is not basketball related per se, but it's more life related. Now that we're kind of adults and whatnot, he has to get an apartment and whatnot, all wrapped up in one day. I know he has probably people to do it for him, but how quickly does that all come together? Where is he staying right now?
It's a great question. I wonder what jersey Terry Rozier is going to wear with the Miami Heat, because he obviously can't wear number 3, which he was wearing in Charlotte.
I didn't move over that photo, but this jersey swap is pretty tough.
He wore number 12 in Boston.
Who's currently 12? Is 12? Is there
I don't think we have it. We don't have a 12.
What did he? And he wore 3 in? Let me can't wear 3 in.
He wore 12 in Boston. He wore 0 at Louisville when he was a Cardinal. 3 in Charlotte. So his numbers have been 0, 12, and 3 in his career. Can you wear 0 would be tough.
0 would be tough.
A Rozier 0 jersey might cost Rolly money.
Also, that's red and black like Louisville.
Oh, that's tough.
That is tough.
I kind of all in on Terry wearing 0.
I don't know what. I actually forgot what number this is, but they have him in 12 on this little.
So that's
jersey
when
swap.
he wore 12 when he played with the
Boston Celtics. Yep.
Oh, Josh Richardson is 0. How could I forget? God damn it.
Can you pay him? Terry Rozier has more money than Josh Richardson, I think.
Jay Rich doesn't deserve 0. God damn it.
Oh, another Celtic legend, by the way.
Thanks for keeping me on my toes, hot dog. I did forget about Jay Rich. He's been so bad lately. Kind of just want to forget about him. Yeah, actually, to answer your question, I don't think he's going to have to find a place to live. Because I'm pretty sure he has got a spot in Miami.
Really?
Yeah, Tunde with a good point here.
Wow.
Purdy lives in Miami in the offseason. He trains in Miami in the offseason.
Oh.
So I think he has a spot.
Dope.
So
he did want to be a Heedle.
Well, half the NBA has a spot in Miami, if we're going to be honest.
Guess so, yeah.
That's my favorite thing to bring up when we're talking about trade rumors. It's like the guy trains in Miami in the offseason. Yeah, about 50% of the NBA trains in Miami. Because they got good runs and they got other things that are very fun.
Is that where all those open gyms are most of the time that I see
New York
and
and
New York,
Miami.
I know that.
I think New York and Miami are the two.
Yeah, Chris Brickley's gym in New York is obviously the hot spot.
Mr. W says Rozier will play tomorrow. He'll be on the bench tonight. Well, the Heat don't play tonight. The Heat play Wednesday, which is tomorrow, and Thursday against the Grizzlies. I don't think he'll play on Wednesday. That's a pretty quick turnaround to be traded Tuesday morning and play on Wednesday night. I think they'll ease him in, and he'll meet the team, be acclimated tomorrow, and then make his Heat debut on Thursday night against his former team in the Boston Celtics. Primetime game on national television. Script's there. The script is there.
We'll be doing a super chat battle, too, with Celtics.
We will. We will be. That's going to be juice, man. Rozier's first game in Miami. That's going to be juice. It's going to be juice. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. We're going to get into our Q&A here in just a bit. If you want to make sure you get on the show, super chat. But you can always use hashtag Heat. We have some questions. Smart ass with a good question again. So I think we have enough. But if you want to ensure you getting on the show, we could have a conversation about Rozier or any following move that could happen for Miami. Hashtag Heat or super chat. And then we'll probably hop out of here after that. Fun Wednesday or Tuesday morning. I got my days all messed up, if I'm going to be honest. It's your boy says, Rolly, we did it, we did it, we did it. Yes, we did. Boy, does it feel good. Your boy also says we need to trade for a big man. I agree. I do think there's... Let me get a pile of big men out there. It's got to be cheap, though, because I don't think we're going to offer another first-round pick. I don't think we're going to offer a first-round pick. What is this? Tristan Thompson, suspended for 25 games, violating the anti-drug policy.
No, there's no wonder. Oh, he was playing too nice.
He's got SARMs.
Yo, he was actually playing too nice, though. Like, he had a renaissance this season. Like, he's been playing. Like, I remember when he was a Celtic a couple years ago. He was trash. Now he's balling out this year. I forget. He's still in the Cavs. He's on the Cavs.
Time Man says, good, you're still alive. Yeah, we're going to get a mailbag here, and then we'll probably sign off. Let me just look here. Trying to think of cheap centers out there. Andre Drummond. Oh, Count said at the same time I did. Andre Drummond for second in matching salary. I don't hate it. He's been really good in Chicago as their backup center. I don't think Cleveland's trading anyone. Boston's not. Brooklyn. Oh, Day'Ron Sharpe. That's my number one guy. Day'Ron Sharpe is a perfect backup center in Miami. If you're not familiar with his game, Day'Ron Sharpe, the backup center in Brooklyn, is a phenomenal center for his role. 15 to 16 minutes a night as the backup center in Miami. Oh, Day'Ron Sharpe would move needles, man. We'll definitely mention him. That is someone I'm going to keep my eye out for when it comes to the deadline February 8th, because I still think the Heat are going to make a move. I know that I was saying that we're going to have you covered up to the deadline, and this deal might make you think that's not going to happen. No. Trades will still happen. We'll have you covered. I think Day'Ron Sharpe might be my number one guy. So it's not going to be big name hunting anymore. Terry Rozier was our name that we got. Let's think of other centers. Detroit Pistons. They got no one. They got Isaiah Stewart, but they're not trading Stewart. And I don't think I'd want to take on his $16 million because you'd probably have to trade Duncan in that deal, and I'm not going to do that. Sixers, nobody. Pacers, nobody. Bucks, nobody. Raptors. Who's their backup center?
Chris Boucher, who they're trying to move. He's 31. I actually, I just didn't figure he was over 30.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably not going back to Charlotte. I would have been intrigued if they got Nick Richards in this deal as well, but evidently not.
Oh, Nick Richards would have been dope. That would have been a fleece job, though.
Yeah, probably would have had to offer someone else. Appreciate that. Appreciate that, Beast. That was crazy. Warriors, they're not going to sell. Warriors aren't going to sell. T-Wolves, they're not trading anyone. Magic, I heard Wendell Carter could be available. How much is Wendell Carter getting paid?
I think he's something like $13 million.
That's probably out of Miami's price range.
Yeah, so somebody just mentioned before to trade for Kelly Olynyk. I think he's $12 million
He's in that
as well.
range as well.
Yeah, we were just talking about him. We said we should have
got
him in this deal.
We're not going to make a separate deal with Charlotte for Nick Richards. You'd imagine it would have just been in this deal. Maybe. Portland. Fuck Portland. I don't even want to think about them. Washington. Gafford's probably too expensive. I mean, he's been my number one guy. I literally said I want him on the Heat more than anyone.
He's one of the better scoring bigs out there, too.
Is your laptop charging?
Yes. If you want to go down below on that.
Which one? Oh, I didn't see that one. My laptop's not charging on any juice. How quickly would yours die? If I took your charger, but I guess if you got up. Okay. Mine dies quickly as well. Hot Dog says Looney. Does it not reach? Give me another side. This side doesn't work. What are you talking about? No, it's not double-sided. I'll just move this over here. I don't really need it. I just need more or less for this. Bull in the China shop over here, Tyler Smith. Yeah, maybe J Rich could be dealt. Maybe. I don't know. Because then your guard depth is pretty horrid on the bench at least. So, all right. I do think we have enough. I'm just gonna say Subs is the sponsor for this one as well. Oh, Factor? All right. We're going to get into your latest questions. So if you do want to be featured on today's episode, Super Chat, or hashtag Heat, we're going to hop into this mailbag, and then we'll probably sign off pretty quickly after that. So appreciate everyone joining us here today. Kevon Looney, by the way, your boy saying he's garbage. No. Kevon Looney would be a great backup center.
I actually disagree.
No disrespect to Looney.
No disrespect at all to Kevon Looney.
Don't
he
be
might
mean
be the best system player of all time.
You're telling me he wouldn't gobble up 10 rebounds in 10 minutes for Miami?
I just don't know if he could physically play with other people. I don't know if he could play with another team. He is the Golden State Warrior. They should never let him go. He should never want to leave.
That's funny. All right. Let's get into it. Like I said, hashtag Heat or Super Chat to get on this mailbag. We're going to react to what you guys have to say and answer your trade questions down below. So, all right, let's get into it, Smitty. Yeah, let's get it. All right, welcome into the Heat Report by Chat Sports. I am Nick Roloff. Terry Rozier is a member of the Miami Heat, and on today's episode, we are reacting to the latest rumors that you guys are throwing out there and your questions surrounding the Miami Heat after Scary Terry did join the 305 team, which is the Miami Heat. And we kick it off with our guy, Axie, $5 Super Chat, says, just got word of the trade now. Who else was in the deal? Was Jovic and Herro also dealt? No, The Heat only traded Kyle Lowry in a 2027 lottery-protected first-round pick for Terry Rozier. Great deal, in my opinion. If that pick in 2027, I should say, is not conveyed because the Heat are picking in the lottery, which I don't expect that to happen, it will become a 2028 unprotected first-round pick, but I do expect that pick to go to Charlotte in 2027. But I really like this deal for Miami. We'll talk about it more in depth. And here comes Diego, who says, Are we kind of a championship team now? I thought we could compete for a championship before the deal, but we absolutely are in that window now. I would say we're the third best team in the Eastern Conference right now with Rozier. I think we jumped New York because they made that addition of OG. Their roster might have slightly jumped ours, but putting us back in front with Rozier joining this Miami Heat team because he can really pack a punch, man. 23 points a night, 6.5 assists, shooting 46% from the field, 36% from three. And I expect those efficiency numbers to go up because some people might think his volume might go up. I actually disagree. I think it will go down because in Charlotte, that team was bad. He was jacking up shots in a winning environment where the Heat like to get a lot of people involved. I would expect Rozier's volume to go down, so maybe he doesn't average 23. Maybe he's averaging more of 18 or 19, but it's a more efficient 48% from the field, 38% from three. He could play off ball with Tyler, Jimmy, and Bam. Really like this addition. He just provides a lot of more ability on the offensive end. And him and Herro, I know you might question their defensive fit, but I think Tyler Herro is also going to benefit offensively because now Rozier is going to take a lot of pressure off of Tyler being the only scorer in that backcourt. Really like this deal for the Miami Heat. Terry's going to unlock a new feature for this Miami Heat, which is a dynamic offense. And let me know your thoughts on this. He had a good question, Diego. Does Terry Rozier make the Heat a championship team? Type Y for yes, type N for no. It is the pinned comment on today's episode. So get your voice in the comment section. Be heard for me down below. Also, make sure you check out our sponsor on today's stream, and that is Factor Meals. Head to NBA Chat 50 or use code NBA Chat 50, I should say, at factormeals.com/NBA Chat 50 to get 50% off. I love Factor Meals. If you need a special occasion, Gourmet Plus, by the way, a little tidbit. It's the perfect solution for you because they're fast, upscale options done easily. Skip the overpriced takeout trap. Factor's cheaper and way more delicious than takeout. Get chef-crafted, restaurant-quality meals delivered right to your door. They're ready to heat and eat in just 2 minutes, which means more time for you. Not only does Factor offer fast, simple solutions for you when you're busy, they also help you stay on top of your goals with offerings like Protein Plus and Keto. You can stay on track with your fitness goals. This is definitely going to come in handy for you. I use it. It's handy for me. So head to factormeals.com/NBA Chat 50 and use code NBA Chat 50 to get 50% off. That's code NBA Chat 50 at factormeals.com/NBA Chat 50. Get your 50% off today. Great question. It's your boy, Rolly. Can Rozier throw a lob? Yes, this is a common question asked amongst Heat fans because in the pick and roll with Bam Adebayo, people have failed to throw lobs to him. And it's really been a deficient part of this Miami Heat team. Rozier can throw a lob. Hopefully he's not throwing a half-court lob like Kyle Lowry does and putting our best players in hospital situations where they're just praying not to come down on someone else's ankle. But a Scary Terry, Bam Adebayo pick and roll should be deadly. Rozier can score. He's the second most efficient player in the NBA in pick and roll situations when it comes to scoring. He can assist the ball as well to Adebayo in the lob area. It's just going to create a much more dynamic offense for Miami. Could not be more excited. Yes, he can throw a lob. It's your boy. I love that question. Ron Baker, the Wichita State Shocker. Hey, yeah, just kidding. But shout out to the legend, Ron Baker. What do you think Pat will do with the trade exception? Great question. So they have actually a lot of trade exceptions now. They have 4. They have the Max Strus trade exception, which is about $6 million. They now have this trade exception from the Rozier-Lowry deal, which is about $6 million as well. They have the Victor Oladipo trade exception, which they traded in the Thunder back in summer, $9 million. And they also have a $4 million trade exception for Dwayne Dedmon. So in reality, there's a high probability the trade exception doesn't get used because there's 4 of them. And it's just like, well, you're not going to use all 4. Some of these are going to be expired. But I'd like to see if Miami can go find someone for $6, $8, $9 million where they could either use the Oladipo trade exception or this trade exception to upgrade the front court. I have to do some more research if I'm just going to be transparent with you guys on what people are making around the league. But a name that I have my eye on is Day'Ron Sharpe, the backup center in Brooklyn. I think Miami could use an addition to this front court. Sharpe would be a really good backup center. You could pair both Love and Sharpe as the backup front court guys for the Miami Heat. Only help the Heat in the playoffs. I don't know how much Sharpe is making. I'll have to double check that, but I think that could be a good use if Sharpe is available. Jay Kelly, trade Thomas Bryant and Drew Smith, 2 second-round picks for Saddiq Bey from Atlanta. Would you do this deal? It's a great question. I do think Miami is going to trade Thomas Bryant, by the way, because that would free up about $3-4 million on the cap. It would also get Miami closer and closer to below the first apron, which would allow them to be more aggressive on the buyout market. Same thing with Drew Smith. That would both get them under. Saddiq Bey. I think it's a good player. He is a free agent upcoming this offseason, so I don't know if it would be a long-term play for Miami, but Saddiq Bey is someone who could come off the bench as a 3-and-D scoring guy, as a wing. And the only question I have with Bey is that, like, how much would it limit Duncan? How much would it limit Caleb? How much would it limit Highsmith? How much would it limit Jaime Jaquez, right? Those are the only things that I would really consider that Saddiq Bey. Like, I don't know if you have too many wings at that point coming off the bench. I think you have a good enough wing selection. I think the Heat addition that is necessary is a backup center or someone in the front court. You got the guard. We replaced Kyle Lowry. We have our starting point guard. I think now we just focus on that front court. Really no need to look for a scoring wing. But I probably would do the trade. I just don't think Miami would even think about doing that. Cool Winners with a great question here. What other big man do you think the Heat should go for if they can't get Daniel Gafford as a backup to Bam? As that seems like the only big issue of the squad. As I detailed a bit earlier, Cool Winners, you know ball. I would love Daniel Gafford, and as you mentioned, it probably is unlikely they get Daniel Gafford because he's going to be a little bit more expensive. He probably would require a first-round pick. And the deal that I had my eyes on was Kyle Lowry for Tyus Jones and Daniel Gafford. Wouldn't be a one-for-one. They'd probably offer Lowry a first and maybe a young guy or a second-round pick for the two of Jones and Gafford. But if you wanted to just go for Gafford, it would certainly cost a first-round pick, which I don't think Miami is in the market of doing for a backup center. But like I mentioned a little bit ago, Day'Ron Sharpe, not going to cost you a first, might cost you your 1 second-round pick you have and the trade exception, depending on how much he makes. Actually, you know what? Give me 1 second. I know this is on the fly. I want to know how much Day'Ron Sharpe makes so I can accurately tell you guys the thoughts on that. Day'Ron Sharpe makes 4 for $10, so he's extremely cheap. Yeah, so he makes 2 years. You could use that Dwayne Dedmon trade exception of $4 million and send a second-round pick to Day'Ron Sharpe. I don't know if it would require more than a second-round pick for Sharpe, but I think that's my biggest thing right now. Trade exception, second-round pick, Day'Ron Sharpe. Let's do it. Devontae Adams burner, hashtag Heat ranked the top 3 scariest team in the East. Well, the Heat join them, and they join the scariest teams in the East after adding scary Terry. The joke was there. I had to do it. It goes in the Eastern Conference, no debate in my opinion. Top 3 after this deal. Boston, Milwaukee, Miami. I think New York is a close 4, and I know a lot of people are going to be like, what about the Sixers? I ain't scared about Philly. Philly's bums, dude. They are the Dallas Cowboys of the NFL. They can do whatever they want in the regular season. They can put up those ridiculous statistics. Joel Embiid could MVP. I don't trust you in the playoffs. I don't trust someone who has to rely on flopping and getting to the free throw line to win games in the postseason. Bam has also done a historic job against Joel Embiid. And now that we added a legit person who could score the basketball in the backcourt, man, oh man, the Heat are a dangerous team. Those are the top 3 in my opinion. There is a lot of trade rumors to get to. The Heat are not done. I promise you that. They are not done. They will be making another move, whether it be just trading away to shed salary or being in the buyout market. But if the Heat made another trade before the February 8th deadline, name the player Miami should trade for. I think after some careful reconsideration, my number 1 guy is Day'Ron Sharpe, without a doubt. Super chat from Laktara. It doesn't matter which team or sport it is. The people want the hashtag Rolly for it. Hashtag Team Rolly. I appreciate that, Laktara. You're a legend. Thank you for supporting the channel. The Rolly report sounds enticing, but we're just going to stick with the Heat report because Well, I want the Miami Heat to win their 4th championship more than anything else in this world. So hopefully they're able to do it. Hopefully you guys subscribe, and hopefully you join us for that ride to hopefully banner number 4, because Rozier's a great addition. We're going to be live for the game on Wednesday against the Memphis Grizzlies. We're going to be live on the game against the Boston Celtics on Thursday, which I believe is going to be Terry Rozier's debut. We'll also have you covered on the latest trade rumors and news leading up to that deadline of February 8th, and then we're on to the playoff push. So hit that sub button and join us for the watch parties. I'll see you on the next video. Go Heat. All right. Bang! Picked up a good amount of subscribers so far, too. About 20. I think woke up. When I went to bed, I think we were at 7,265. 26 subscribers in the daytime. That will probably... I'll take that. I'll take that for sure. That VOD is probably going to stink. Let's check it out. Yeah, I mean, the highlight cuts from breaking news always are bad. Oh, it's actually not the worst. That short I put out got 2.8 thousand views in 2 hours. Crazy. Let's ride. Let's ride. Make sure you guys are subscribed, though, if you haven't already. 122 people watching. Like I mentioned, we're going to be live for Wednesday's game against the Grizzlies. We're live on Thursday against the Celtics, and we'll be live on Saturday against the Knicks. I'm actually so fired up for this week now. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not saying I was not excited for this week of basketball for the Miami Heat, but I'd be lying to you if I said I wasn't a little bit down in the dumps after how bad it's been over the last week and a half. But Rozier is going to give you an energy jolt and have people fired up for these games this week, man.
I'm real fired up for Thursday. I'm real fired up because
Celtics are going to lose.
I mean, listen, we already beat you once this season. We're gonna win this. We're gonna win this season series, and we're gonna maybe match up with you guys because you did get a little scarier with Scary Terry. But that's gonna be a great game on Thursday. Very excited. Always a good matchup. Always physical. And, with the Celtics being the best team in the league right now, everybody's taking their best shot at them. I know the Heat will as well.
Yeah. We're probably going to sign off here in just a second. Appreciate everyone who joined us for the live stream tonight. It was fun. Or today. It was a blast. If you want us to stay live, we could stay live for Super Chats. That will be something that is always guaranteed. Mohamedou says, Rolly, think you could break your hunger strike today? No, I'm not. Just because the Heat did trade for Terry Rozier, which is legendary, I'm fired up. I am still not going to eat a piece of food until the Heat win a basketball game, which is hopefully tomorrow against the Grizzlies, because I don't know how long I can go. They got to win one of the 2 games coming up. They gotta. No hunger strike will be broken. I'll be sure. Yeah, I like this, Smitty. Let's throw on this 2-minute shot clock. 2 minutes. If a super chat comes in, we'll reset the shot clock. If not, we'll sign off and appreciate everyone who joined.
Thank you, everybody, for subscribing, liking the stream.
Yeah,
sending in questions. It was a fun time.
Very fun. 1,000 Ice says just do soup. Hard hunger strike. I do have witnesses, by the way. Some of y'all might have saw my tweet about doing a hunger strike and my little note at the end of yesterday's video that I was kidding. I am not kidding. I am dead serious. I actually set a timer. Fun fact. I'll show it. This is how long. I said I wanted to see how long I could go without eating a piece of food. I've only had water and black coffee. A little bit
I didn't realize you're already halfway there.
36 hours.
I didn't realize you're already halfway there.
36 hours. No.
Yeah, we're about to
shot clock
sign off
is
right
a
now.
minute 10. Yeah. Oh. Our guy Lochte came over and sent a $20 super in. I'm sure he knows. Oh, well. Did that other guy not claim it? Your boy says, would you trade Herro for DeJounte Murray? No. No, I wouldn't do it.
Tyler Herro for DeJounte Murray, you wouldn't do it.
Wouldn't do it.
You're a crazy person.
Would not do it.
And all right.
But I just think you could find a bigger fish in the sea for Tyler Herro.
No, you can't.
DeJounte next to Rozier. Much better defense.
Yeah.
You guys say you would. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't trade it. And I know for a fact the Miami Heat wouldn't do it. So there's no reason to entertain it.
He wants to protect his Herro jersey investment. He doesn't want to lose out.
I have a Kentucky Herro jersey. I have 2 different Miami Heat Herro jerseys. I think I got to pick up a Scary Terry jersey, man. I think I might have to. I love Rozier.
If he buys
He's
Josh
tough.
Richardson 0, that would be so
I
tough.
could be down on 12.
12
is
is
a good
cool,
number.
too.
12 is a good number.
12 is a good number in any sport, I feel like.
Yeah. Ron Baker, good question. Would you be able to trade for Spida this offseason? Yes, you would still be able to. The financials are fine. I think it's possible still, and I still think he comes available. So I'm not really concerned. Maybe not Thousand Eyes. Maybe not. I think a D-Mitch, Rozier, Butler, Bam. And the best part, too, by the way, before we quickly sign off here, because we didn't get a super chat, you always talked about, and this might get me came after in the chat. If you traded for Donovan Mitchell in the offseason, you probably didn't want to trade away Jaime Jaquez because you needed that fourth guy next to potentially Mitchell, Jimmy, and Bam. Well, now you have the luxury of throwing Jaquez in that deal because your fourth guy is Terry Rozier. You have a good enough fourth guy in Terry. So that's just a nice little tidbit. So I'm not saying I would be against trading Jaquez and Herro plus 2 or 3 first-round picks for Donovan Mitchell. Can't say I wouldn't be. I love Jaquez more than the next guy. I love Jaime, but my goodness, would I like to see D-Mitch playing with Bam for the next 5 to 7 years. Oof. It's crazy that you guys aren't even sold on that trade. I know some people wouldn't trade Jaquez for Donovan Mitchell. I think y'all are crazy for that. But that's whatever. I do wonder who's going to be the starting power forward for the Miami Heat. Will it be Haywood Highsmith? That's my guess. Will they go Jaquez? I just think they need more of a 3-and-D guy rather than what Jaquez brings. They bring Jaquez off the bench, but I also wouldn't complain if Jaime was the starting 4. I wouldn't be complaining. All right, that's going to do it here. Appreciate everyone who joined the live. 1,500 people, about 27 subscribers. Appreciate all y'all for joining. Let's go Heat, and I cannot wait to watch Terry Rozier's Miami Heat debut, whether that be on Wednesday against the Grizzlies or Thursday against the Celtics. We'll be live for both games, so it doesn't matter. So make sure you sub and join us then. Peace out, everyone. Go Heat.